Well, it's another Saturday, it's another weigh-in, and it's another time to talk about our weight. And this week's topic is a scale standoff, which is all about plateaus. I wish that's what I was in, but I was in a weight gain. I was on the wrong path, but now I've come to the right path. I came to a fork in the road, and I decided that I was going to take the road less traveled for me, which was tracking, staying on top of what I was doing and not getting discouraged. So I had a pretty good loss this week. Had a really good loss. I lost 3.7. Remember 2 weeks ago I gained 3.9? My goal this week was just to lose 2.2 to put me back into the 30s. But I lost 3.7. I gained 5 pounds for the month of April, so I'm 1.3 pounds away to getting back to where I started. And I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to try my very best. I'm going to really track. As a matter of fact, at the meeting, they ask, every week she passes out the journal and asks somebody to take it home. And I raised my hand. I said, I'll take it home. I'll track. I track it home anyhow, but maybe because then you have to say how you did. You know, you can track at home and say, oh, okay, whatever. But I have to track and say, oh, yeah, I tracked all week and then I gained. You know, no, I don't want to do that. I want to have a loss next week. But anyway, I now weigh 238.4. My lowest I've been so far was 237.1, so that puts me a pound 1.3 away from where I was. And I have a 65.8 total loss. And I'm going to get fit. Let's get fit, because this is the month. I'm going to live up to the name of my channel. Let's get fit. I'm going to get back on track. And I know I'm going to do it. I just know I'm going to do it. And one of the ways you can do it is not to let the scale define you. It's so easy to do. It really is. I was letting the scale get to me when I gained the 3.9. Well, I gained 0.2 the week before that, and then I gained 3.9, and then last week I gained 0.9. And I just realized I was going the wrong way. I had to change my direction. I had to change my mindset. I had to stop worrying so much about what the scale said and just how I was feeling. And I'm feeling pretty good, because look at this shirt. Hummingbirds. I'm going to get hummingbirds this year. I'm so optimistic about so many things. I'm optimistic that May is going to be my month. I'm optimistic that I'm going to get some hummingbirds on my bird feeders. I'm just going to not let the scale deter me. I'm just going to keep up with what I'm doing and do it right. And before I get any farther, I did ask at my meeting about if you're an online member, you go on your app. I'm trying to see how I can do this so it won't look so bad. Oh, like that maybe. Like that. And then you're going to scroll till you get to see what's new, which is right here. I wish I could figure it out. Oh, there it is. See what's new, and then you're going to click on that. And then it's going to list all the different topics that you can. My leader seems to think that because today is Saturday, that's why it doesn't show the program. Check it out on Monday. It should be there. But basically it's telling you how the freestyle works, about our 200 0-point foods, how to use rollovers to lose weight, build a meal, smart point values under 3 points, and some smoothies and soups. It also on the bottom tells you that if you have more questions, you know, it's kind of hard because of the light. But on the bottom it says, do you have more questions? Chat with one of our coaches. You can always chat with them, and they can direct you on how to get to the right site to get your own book for the online members. But it was a very interesting meeting. It really was. And my friends all lost too. So we were in the winning section, because we all had we're losers, but we were winning at the same time. And the first page tells us, it's so bright because it's so sunny. It's finally nice weather. How to manage plateaus. Does this sound familiar? 1 week you're patting yourself on the back for another consecutive loss. And the next week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, your weight loss is at a standstill. You've hit a plateau. There was a lady in our meeting. She was at a plateau for 17 months. Oh, 17 months. She'd gain, she'd lose. She'd gain, she'd lose. And she was getting so discouraged, but she thought, no, I'm going to stick with it. And this last month, she's lost 17 pounds. So she stuck with it, and she figured out what she was doing wrong. And sometimes that's what you need to do. And like she said, too, seeing the scale stayed the same was very, very discouraging for her. And the first time she hit her plateau, 17 months ago, she started to doubt herself and her ability to reach her goals, but she wasn't going to quit. And she kept on coming, and she kept on coming, and she said She was perfectly honest. She was very discouraged, but not discouraged to the point that she was going to quit. And she had so many people in the meeting giving her support and love and help, and so she stayed with it. And then she did learn that everyone hits plateaus. And once you realize that you're not the only one that's going to hit a plateau, that you're going to stop feeling defeated. She said that weight loss is, in fact, isn't linear, and it doesn't follow a certain pattern. It doesn't mean that because you're following a diet and you're being perfectly good, that every week you're going to have a loss. Sometimes you're going to just stay the same. Your body is going to fluctuate, and it's going to adapt to how you're going on your journey. And you have to remember that, because you're not going to have a weight loss every week, and you probably are going to have gains along the way, but don't let the gains discourage you. The 5 pounds for me in April was very discouraging. It was so discouraging, but I wasn't going to let it define me. I wasn't going to let me go back to my old way of eating. I had mentioned on my video yesterday, my daily vlog, that I want to reach my goal so that when I go back to my old way of eating, it's going to be eating Weight Watchers way, because I don't want to go back to my old way of eating. Sure, I do like pizza, I do like cake, I do like cookies, I do like pop. I've come to realize that I can't drink pop. I don't suffer because I don't drink it, but it's still hard. But it's a thing I'm working on. I can have a piece of cake for a birthday and just know that I'm having it for the birthday, but I haven't conquered the pop yet. And so until I can figure out a way to conquer the pop, I'm not going to enter it into my life. I'm just not. There are times you might expect to hit a wall, like with your busy schedule getting in the way, and you're going to stop tracking. But often you might have been meeting all of your goals, and the scale still doesn't budge. Take a look at your body then. Take a look and see how your body is reacting. Just because it doesn't show pounds on the scale, your butt could be getting smaller. You could be fitting into those jeans because your weight is kind of getting proportioned a little bit differently. There's so many variables that you should check on. Don't define yourself by what the scale says. Go by how you're feeling. Are you sleeping better? Are you moving more? Are you able to get in and out of a chair? Can you walk from around the store without getting winded? Those are all victories, and that's due to weight loss. And remember that the scale is only one measure of progress. You need to stop comparing gaining weight and as being a losing at weight loss. Sometimes you're going to gain weight. Sometimes your body's just going to hold on to stuff. Sometimes it's going to retain a little bit of water. A lot of times if you have a small gain, that's just a sodium intake. Check and see what you ate the previous couple days. I might have lost a little bit more, but I ate out yesterday, and everybody knows there's so many preservatives and additives in foods when you eat out that it has a lot of sodium. I'm not saying I'm very happy with my 3.7 loss, but maybe I might have hit my 3.9. Who knows? But 3.7, I'm gonna hang on to that. So reflect on the healthy changes you've made in your eating patterns and your lifestyle, and celebrate with those in your non-scale victories while you wait for the scale to catch up. It will catch up. You just have to wait. Like I always say, I've been on this now 17 months. That's as long as it was for her plateau. Maybe I was her bad luck charm when I joined. I don't know. But anyway, I've been on it for 17 months. And if I'm going to eat like this the rest of my life, what's the hurry? I want to learn good habits along the way. I want to learn what's going to work for my body and what's not going to work for my body. I want to know what I can eat and what I can't eat, when I can eat it, when I can't eat it. There are some foods that you can eat and it doesn't affect you at all. I can eat out like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday and it won't reflect on the scale on Saturday, but if I'm going to eat out on a Friday or a Thursday even, it's going to reflect on the scale on Saturday. So I got to balance all that together. So what you want to do is make peace with a plateau. You've heard it before. What you think determines how you feel, which determines what you do. That is so true. When you step on the scale expecting a loss and don't see it, you might have an unhelpful thought that'll lead to feelings of disappointment or self-criticism. How many of us criticize ourselves? How many of us say stuff to ourselves that we would never think of saying out loud to someone else? A lot of times we think of it in our brains, but we don't let it come out of our mouth. And we have to stop criticizing ourselves, because those kind of feelings and those kind of actions are going to lead to undermining your success in the program. You can't be beating yourself up. If you hit a plateau, there's a reason. Think about it for a while. You know what? I've lost 66.7 pounds now. And there's a reason I've lost this weight. And it's not because I hit a plateau and gave up. It's because I hit a plateau and I continued on. Not that I've hit, like I said, I gained last month, but I've hit plateaus along the way where I've really been really good the whole week, and then I didn't have the loss that I thought I should have had. And then I wasn't really that great the following week, and then I had a great loss. So it's just your body. Your body's going to release the weight when your body wants to do it. So how do you break the cycle? When you hit a plateau, identify and reality check unhelpful thoughts. Is the thought true? Would you say it to a friend? And you need to shift your helpful thoughts so that you can keep on going. So what you want to do is, they have the unhelpful thoughts in the bottom down here. The unhelpful thought is, wow, I can't believe I didn't lose any weight this week. All that hard work, that was just for nothing. But the reality check is it realistic to think I'm going to have a loss every single week? Was all that real work really worth nothing? And the helpful thought is, weight loss isn't a straight line. Plateaus happen to everyone. I put a lot of effort into the past week, and I've been feeling great about the way I feel, the progress I'm making, the fit points that I'm earning, and I'm sleeping so much better. I will not let numbers on a scale define me or make me think otherwise. And we have to remember that. We really do. Another unhelpful thought is, all those restaurant meals knock me off track this week. If it shows on the scale, I'll fail. But the reality check is, if my friend was in the same situation, would I think she failed? And the helpful thought is, I had trouble meeting my goals this week, but that's okay. It happens to everyone. Before I go out to eat on Thursday and Saturday, I'll choose from the menu ahead of time so I can go back to working towards my goals. I tend to always look at the thing and make a decision on what I'm going to have and look it up. Even when I went out yesterday for the pancake house and had pecan pancakes, I did look them up and track them. And I chose better than I would have in the past. The recipe is for a mozzarella, roasted pepper, and basil omelet. So there you go. I'm not really good with omelets. They turn into scrambled eggs. But the quote that she gave us today is to stay patient and enjoy the journey. Because we're all going to reach a plateau at some point in this journey. That's just a fact of life. You have to remember that you don't have to eat all of your points that you're given. I'm given 24 points. So my healthy range is 10 points under, which is 14, and 5 points over, which is 29. So if I'm anywhere between 14 and 29, I'm having a healthy diet. And with so many 0-point foods, it's so easy to eat so many 0-point foods that sometimes you have a hard time getting your points in. But as long as you're getting at least 10 under, you're going to be fine. Never, 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 never give up when you hit a plateau. It's your body readjusting, and you have to remember that. You have to remember your non-scale victories, because there's so many in non-scale victories if you really think about them. Think about how your clothes are fitting, how you're sleeping. I know I've said this all before, but there's so many things that you just have to remember. Don't give up. Ask yourself, how do you feel right now? Take some pictures of yourself. I was looking for pictures of me when I was heavy, and there's hardly any, because I always got to the back of the pack because I didn't want to get my picture taken. I always thought to myself, I never really looked in the mirror. I looked in the mirror in the morning when I brushed my hair, and that was it. And I just thought it was because I wasn't being vain. And now I realize it's just I didn't like what I was seeing. It wasn't that I was vain. I knew that I was overweight, and I knew I didn't look as good as I could look. And so then I didn't look. I look in a mirror all the time now. I'm always fixing my hair, and I'm always doing something. Try on your old clothes. I tried some of my old clothes on the other day, and I was a little disappointed because some of my favorite clothes, I passed them up. Now they're too big. I just never thought that I had lost enough weight to get into them, and I never even tried, and I should have done that. I should have done that along the way. But somebody else is going to get it. They're going to get my clothes. Take some measurements. I should do this. I don't do that. I didn't want to put a big old tape measure around my big old butt and see that it probably wouldn't go all the way around. I should have done measurements, but I didn't. But you guys can do that now. And remember, when you reach a plateau, it's just your body reconforming to all your weight loss. And so if you're having a problem and you're not losing weight, ask yourself, am I really tracking my foods correctly? Am I just guessing at like a tablespoon? Am I guessing that, oh, that's 3 ounces? Get those scales out. Get those measuring cups out. Get those measuring spoons out. Start using those. Make sure you're tracking accurately. Also think to yourself, am I getting enough movement? Am I getting enough exercise in my day? All of these things you need to remember. So I hope this helped you out. I'm going to hopefully lose more weight next week, and I'm going to remember that the scale is not going to define me, and I'm going to stay on track, because I have to remember that this is not a race. It's a journey. So I'll see you guys next week. Hit the like button.